that Scott ripped off a Pumpkin song in that song.
Did he really? I didn't
In
know
which
that.
song now? In Plush?
I don't know the names of the
Are you
titles.
going to hit me for bread when we get out of here?
No.
I owe you money, don't I?
There's, and you'll know because you know the record, in the Pumpkin song "Suffer." And I feel, and a ton, So I'm watching MTV.
The Smashing Pumpkins leader, Billy Corgan, has never held back from expressing his raw opinions. His long-standing accusation that Stone Temple Pilots shamelessly appropriated his band's distinctive sound was recently brought up again. And this time, the members of STP chose to address the issue head-on, igniting a fresh round of discussion in the rock world. Despite starting decades ago, the discussion is still popular since it discusses the beginnings of one of alternative rock's most identifiable sounds. Corgan has maintained that once he and producer Butch Vig invented the unique layered guitar technique during the production of Gish, it was swiftly imitated by other bands, such as Stone Temple Pilots. This technique became a defining characteristic of the Pumpkins. Much of the alternative music of the early 1990s was characterized by that thick, textured guitar wall, and Corgan claims that it was appropriation rather than merely influence. We must look back to see why this is important. Gish, a 1991 album by Smashing Pumpkins that featured luscious, overdubbed guitars layered into a huge soundscape, was recorded with Vig. The Pumpkins had a distinct sound identity thanks to the instantly identifiable style. Vig collaborated with Nirvana on Nevermind just a few months later, using some of the same methods. The heavy, layered guitars of Stone Temple Pilots, who came out around the same time as Core, sounded to many like Corgan's purported invention. For Corgan, it was proof that someone had stolen his creative blueprint, not a coincidence. Dean DeLeo, guitarist for the Stone Temple Pilots, has finally made his response explicit. He denied in a recent interview that STP intentionally copied anyone. He instead characterized their method as organic, influenced by their own musical sensibilities, Brendan O'Brien, their producer, and the band's influences. DeLeo claimed that, rather than being the product of theft, the parallels were the consequence of a larger movement in rock manufacture. He underlined that many musicians had employed methods like double tracking and layering guitars for a very long time. Replicating someone else's vision was never the goal for STP. Their sound came effortlessly to them. This answer brings to light a more general reality. Rock music develops inside a common habitat. Similarities inevitably arise when bands collaborate with the same producers, record in the same studios, or even share a cultural period. Numerous records bear the fingerprints of Vig, O'Brien, and others who were influencing the era's soundscape. Although Corgan might believe his contribution was crucial, STP presents it as parallel development rather than copying. On social media, fans have voiced their opinions and re-examined the problem by going back and reviewing previous interviews, studio notes, and podcast snippets. Some took Corgan's side, claiming that his early vision was clearly and unquestionably stolen by others. They draw attention to Vig's admission that Corgan's methodology impacted his subsequent work, noting that the date of STP's release lends credence to the notion of imitation. On the other hand, many fans defend STP, arguing that layered guitar walls were common long before the Pumpkins and that no one artist owns a recording technique. For them, the argument reveals more about ego and legacy than actual theft. The debate has spilled into online forums, with fans analyzing songs like Cherub Rock and Plush side by side. Some note tonal similarities, while others insist the songwriting, melodies, and vocal approaches are completely different. It's clear that while techniques might overlap, the overall artistic identities of both bands remain distinct. At the heart of the matter lies a broader question about creativity and ownership. Can an artist truly claim exclusive rights to a technique like guitar layering? Or is music inherently a collective art form, where ideas circulate and evolve through collaboration, influence, and even unintentional borrowing. For Corgan, recognition of his contributions seems vital. For STP, the focus remains on their independence. As artists who carved out their own space in the crowded rock scene of the 90s, one thing is certain: this renewed clash has reignited interest in both bands and their legacies. Younger fans are discovering the debate for the first time, while longtime followers are re-examining the roots of the music that defined their youth. The controversy underscores how the stories behind the music can be just as captivating as the songs themselves. In the end, whether or not Stone Temple Pilots truly ripped off Smashing Pumpkins may never be settled definitively. What it does reveal is the enduring power of these bands, the pride artists take in their innovations, and the passion of fans who continue to dissect every riff, chord, and recording detail decades later. And as the echoes of that guitar sound still ripple through today's rock and alternative music, the debate itself ensures that both Smashing Pumpkins and Stone Temple Pilots remain at the center of a cultural conversation that refuses to fade.